What up, YouTube? It's Naj back to look at some true crime, cam, true crime cases. So, super impromptu live. This one wasn't planned. I don't even know if people are about to come through, but I just felt like looking at some cases that we weren't actually following, that I didn't actually see. So, if y'all come through, have a good time with me. If not, I'm gonna enjoy looking and reacting to these cases, and y'all can catch them on the replay. All right, because I know y'all usually catch the replay. So let's get into it. I don't even know if this is set up correctly. Give me 1 second while I pull this up. All right. So basically, this is the top 6 most heated cross-examination moments in high-profile trials. I literally just saw this video pop up on Law and Crime Network, and I was like, you know what? Let's just hop on. Let's do a reaction to it because I'm sure there's some good stuff up in here. And I know a lot of these ones that I seen, like at least on the thumbnail, I didn't actually catch those cases. I didn't like. What was that real big one? I can't remember what it was called, but I didn't catch some of these cases. So we're about to revisit some of these, and we'll see how long we go. Some people come through, we have some good conversation. Maybe we'll go a little bit longer. Other than that, I am going to share my screen, and we're gonna get into it. What's up, Nefertiti? Appreciate you. Appreciate you for coming through and leaving a like. Yeah, this is impromptu. I just saw this video on Long Crime, so I figured I'd go ahead and share it. But you can definitely catch the replay if you want to check it out afterwards. So I'm about to go ahead and play this. Appreciate you coming through. Let's rewind this. I watched about 3 seconds, or about 30 seconds of it. See what they're talking about.
I've already said I'm sorry 100 times, and I'm done saying I'm sorry. I didn't regenerate this. I wasn't the first person to say it. American governors might be blamed for this, as the left did. So we rejected it mentally and said it must not be true. But I legitimately thought it might have been staged, and I stand by that. And I don't apologize for it. And don't apologize, Mr. Jordan. Please don't apologize. I've already apologized to the parents over and over again. I don't apologize to you. Objection. I don't apologize to you. From grilling a family murderer to breaking apart the story of a man who crashed into an acclaimed actress on a ski slope, we recap six of some of the most intense cross-examinations in recent trials. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
Let's
So people, they seem to watch trials for all different sorts of reasons, right? They want to see if justice is going to be served. They want to see both sides battle it out. They're interested in the law, how it works. They're interested in finding out what is the real story here. There's a drama behind it. But I have to believe sometimes an interest in a trial also comes down to tough cross-examination moments. Those times when attorneys really grill witnesses, or when witnesses fire back at the person questioning them. So let's recap 6 of some of the most intense cross-examinations that we've covered in relatively recent trials. You want to talk intense cross-examinations? Well, how about we start off with one that's not just intense, but incredibly awkward. It is the very disturbing case of Trevor Summers. This was out of Florida, and Summers was accused of sneaking into the home of his estranged wife, Elisa, namely manipulating his children to let him into the house. You see, Trevor and Elisa, they were separated, they were in the process of getting a divorce. In fact, Elisa took out an injunction against Summers to keep him away. And Summers was charged in connection with tying Elisa up, sexually assaulting her, and then kidnapping her. Actually, held her captive for days and even drove around with her in the car before he was ultimately arrested. Now keep all that in mind. Keep all the allegations in mind, because who do you think would be the worst person to cross-examine Elisa when she testified in Trevor Summers' criminal trial back in April of 2023? Who's the worst person? Well, how about Trevor Summers himself? Yeah, that's what happened. Summers decided to represent himself at trial, which is his constitutional right to do. And when he did that, he of course had the opportunity to cross-examine the government's key witness, his wife Elisa. Now listen to these series of exchanges.
I'm asking you specifically, before
before we had sex, did I threaten you or force you to have sex with me?
My answer is yes. You forced me to have sex with you.
Did I hold you down?
No.
Did I push you?
Not at that time of having sex, but prior to having sex, you did push me, you did hold me down, you did tie me up, you did attack me, and you did break into my home when I was sleeping. You raped me.
So, you're calling it rape?
It is. That is the definition of rape. To come into someone's home and attack them and tie them up and then have sex with them, that is the definition of rape.
Did you know I was coming to your house?
No! He placed the pillow over my face with such force until I lost consciousness and had thoughts that I was going to meet Jesus and this was my last breath. That is why I have reasons to believe that you were there to kill me because I came that close to death. At one point, you said that if the police find us, if we get pulled over, you need to tell them this is all a big misunderstanding and that you agreed to go with me and that there's no foul play.
Did you tell me you wanted to go with me?
I begged for my life and I said I will do anything. And you said you're going with me.
Wow.
So you didn't want to go with me?
No.
I frankly...
It's crazy that one, that he's representing himself, right, in a situation where he's getting accused of, we'll call it grape, right? So now she's being forced to talk to him specifically, which is more uncomfortable than anything because this is the person that did that to you and they're trying to act as if they didn't, and you have to basically revisit and relive those situations, and you're being questioned down by the person that did that to you, which is just wild.
Frankly, have never seen anything like that before. An accused rapist and kidnapper, ex-husband, questioning in open court the victim, his ex-wife. And I know that was just a sampling, but it really wasn't good for Trevor Summers because that is not just some random eyewitness. This is the surviving victim of this encounter testifying directly against the defendant about what she says happened to her at his hands. And the jury, they believed her because they convicted Trevor Summers on all 11 counts, including attempted murder, and he was sentenced to life in prison.
Dang. They gave him life. Wow. That's interesting. Now, if I did have to take a guess, I wouldn't have guessed life. I'm not saying that, you know, he did or didn't deserve it, because I have no idea, except for this little, 3 minutes of the synopsis of the case. But if you were to say, what did I expect him to get? I probably would have said, you know, maybe 20 years max, something like that. Because it don't seem like anyone died. Like I said, I'm very ignorant of the case. I don't know much about it at all. I never even heard of it up until this point. But it's interesting that they're saying that he got life specifically, when people that have killed people have gotten less, which is interesting. Not sure what state they're in, though.
Intense cross-examinations without talking about Alex Jones. Little background for you. So the InfoWars founder and host was in a very tricky situation. He was sued by the families of those who lost loved ones in the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, as well as a former FBI agent, for comments that he made on his InfoWars programs regarding the massacre. Namely, saying that the shooting was staged, that it was fake, that it was a hoax, that the parents were crisis actors.
Wow. Do y'all know about this?
And they sued him under various legal theories: defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress. And Alex Jones actually automatically lost these lawsuits because he failed to abide by court-ordered discovery obligations. Default judgments were entered against him. So the trials that we covered of his on Law and Crime, it was purely about how much he would owe the plaintiffs in damages. So he's going into these two trials out in Texas and Connecticut as a loser. It just becomes, how much does he have to pay up? That's all.
How much did he lose? That's what he's trying to figure out. He already lost.
As the defense was, he realized he made a mistake. It wasn't intentional. He tried to correct the record. He profusely apologized. He tried to show that the plaintiffs were overstating their damages, that he and his company, which was also sued, doesn't have a lot of money left. And Jones decided to explain a lot of this when he took the the stand. However, there became a point, specifically in his Connecticut trial, when Jones seemed to have had enough of the plaintiff's attorney, Christopher Maddy. Now, I should be accurate, this wasn't really cross-examination per se. The plaintiffs actually called Jones as a witness, but it sure felt like a cross-examination. Maybe it was he was tired of being called a liar, maybe he was tired of defending himself, maybe he wasn't too happy the judge didn't let him bring up several topics during his time on the stand, maybe it was because in a trial about a month earlier out in Texas, he was ordered to pay $50 million in damages to the parents of a slain child. Whatever it may be, it all came to a head when Jones had this fiery back and forth with Maddy.
That's Robbie Parker, isn't it, Chief Jones? That's the real Robbie Parker, isn't it?
I mean, I've said years ago, I'm not saying it again.
Robbie Parker's sitting right here. He's real, isn't he?
Yes?
And for years, you put a target on his back, didn't you? Objection to the Parker and Judge.
Well, I mean, I
Didn't you?
I've said his name. It's true. I've said that people say who they are.
You put a target on his back, just like you did every single parent and loved one city.
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. That's argument. There's no
Wow.
speculative. There is no foundation for it. And it's inappropriate. These are real people. You know, Mr. Jones, I think you just open the line.
Just like all the Iraqis that you liberals kill and love. It's just unbelievable. You switch on Moses on and off when you want. You're just the ambulance chasing.
Why don't you show them respect? Objection, Judge. I think that
What?
Moses on and off when you want. You're just the ambulance chasing. You're just the ambulance chasing.
Wow.
why don't you show them respect? Objection, Judge. I think that you get what you get in this court. Objection. You have families in this court here that lost children, sisters, wives, moms.
Is this a struggle session? Are we in China? I've already said I'm sorry 100 times. And I
This is wild. I had no idea. Did y'all know about this? I've never heard of this specific. I mean, I know about the school shooting and such, but about him saying it was staged and they were what do you say, crisis actors or something like that. I never knew about that.
Yeah, not great. Some wild statements. And does it really look like he's apologetic? In the end, after hearing all of the evidence, the jury came back with a massive damages award against Alex Jones. The jury there awarded the plaintiffs almost $1 billion, and the judge ordered an additional $473 million in additional punitive damages. You know, when I think of
Meg, what's happening? What's going on?
heated cross-examinations, I am reminded of a very big trial that we covered here on Sidebar, Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard.
So this is the case that I had. Well, I knew what was going on. This was the one that Raina was on top of, and she was keeping track of it. And I know this was like the most viral one. Like this was like up there with Lil Daryl, with what's his name? Daryl. I forgot his last name. Daryl something. This was up there with him, and I know that this one was a crazy one too. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, but I wasn't really that into the cases during that specific time. Like I got more interested as Raina started telling me more about them and that type of stuff. So I don't really know a whole bunch about this specific one, except for she was doing a bunch of from what I heard, and I still ain't checked it out, but she was doing like a bunch of manipulating and basically like projecting like the things that she was saying that he was doing to her. I guess it came out that she was doing to him, and he happened to like record some of what she was doing. Like I said, I don't know a lot about it, but that's just some of the stuff that I know. Let me see. Meg dropped a question. Quick question. Did anything weird show up in the comments from me last time? I had my screen open waiting for the live. I left for a bit and my dog had his brick head resting on the keyboard. Nah, I don't think anything popped up. Last time, it depends which one you're talking about, because you're talking about Friday, I don't think so. I went live again. Was it Saturday night? And I had some issues, like tech issues, so I had to like pause it, and it just wasn't working. I was having all kinds of struggles. So, but no, I don't think anything weird happened necessarily. But we can look through the rest of these. Hopefully they're interesting. But what we can do is also look at some of those videos that you sent over from that Friday night live that you dropped in the comments. I still got those because we didn't really review them all. So I started that Saturday night live, and then it was having some tech issues, like it froze and stuff. So we can check some of those out if y'all want to. Let me know. Yeah, let's see her. Lady says, Meg, your pup kept himself nice. Yeah, Amber Heard is really bad. She did a tremendous amount of projecting. Yeah, that's what it sounded like from what I know about it, and I still don't know a whole bunch about it. I think it was like they were divorcing and they were just trying to figure out the details of that or whatever. I don't even know what the case was about, but I guess that's why we're watching it, so I can get a little bit of a summary. Oops.
And the Pirates of the Caribbean star on Sidebar, Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. Now, Pirates of the Caribbean star sued his ex-wife for defamation over a Washington Post op-ed piece that she authored in which she claimed she was the victim of domestic abuse applying at the hands of Johnny Depp. Now, Heard sued his ex-wife for defamation over a Washington Post op-ed piece that she authored in which she claimed she was the victim of domestic abuse applying at the hands of Johnny Depp. Now, Heard ended up countersuing Depp for comments his attorney made, presumably on his behalf, calling Heard's claims a hoax. This was a very, very ugly case between the two. A lot of dirty laundry was spilled. But at one point, Heard took the stand, and she got highly emotional, recounting the disturbing accounts where she was sexually, verbally, physically abused by Depp. Depp would get on the stand. He would say, no, he was the victim, that Heard attacked him, that he never harmed Heard. Well, when Heard was testifying, Depp's lawyer, Camille Vasquez, had the opportunity to cross-examine Heard. And it was something to watch. It really was. It lasted a long time. And honestly, it was kind of hard for me to select portions that exemplify how intense it got. But let's do a sampling of some of these moments. So I'm going to start with when Vasquez grilled Heard on her claims of abuse.
Quick side note. Meg, not a problem. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Maybe Thursday night or Friday night. We'll figure it out. We'll see. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, maybe Thursday night or Friday night. We can check those out. This was literally just impromptu. I was like, let me just hop on here and just go through some of this because I thought this video was pretty interesting. So I'm gonna just wrap up this video, and then yeah, we can check that out later on in the week.
That either he has the bottle before or after he's holding you by the neck on the counter. Is that your testimony?
He held me by the neck on the counter.
Where's the bottle? That he
At what point?
While holding you down by your neck.
When he was assaulting me with the bottle, it was in his hand.
Was it in his hand before or after he holds you down by your neck?
I was being held down while he assaulted me with the bottle.
When he puts you on the counter, does he have the bottle in his hand, yes or no?
As I have always said, I don't remember exactly what happened first, or I don't remember the sequence. I just remember being aware that I was being assaulted by a bottle while I was on the countertop.
So he penetrates you with this bottle. But you don't know how he got the bottle, right?
That is correct.
And he did that right after he lost the tip of his right middle finger.
Again, I don't remember the exact sequence of those events.
We'll get to the sequence. And while he was on 8 to 10 MDMA pills, right?
Yes.
You testified that this is a picture you took after that incident, right, Miss Heard?
Yes, that was one where he grabbed me.
And hit you in the face so many times that you don't remember. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
And there's no injuries to your face in this picture, are there?
Wow.
Not that this picture shows.
And there's
there's no medical records reflecting that you sought treatment after this alleged incident either.
I did not seek medical treatment at this time.
So there's no medical records reflecting any injuries to your face after he hit you several times.
I did not need to go to the doctor at the time.
Despite hitting you several times that you lost count with rings on on his fingers.
That's correct.
Wow.
Seek medical attention.
Your nose doesn't appear to be injured in any of these pictures, does it, Miss Heard?
I'm wearing makeup.
Oh
Your nose
God.
doesn't appear to be injured in any of these pictures, does it, Miss Heard?
That's why I'm wearing makeup.
Right. And makeup covers up swelling, right?
Makeup will not cover up swelling. Ice will, though.
Ice will cover up swelling?
Ice reduces swelling. Normally, the swelling after that kind of injury is not as bad as you might.
Yo. Why did I know about this? I knew about the case, but we weren't. I don't think we were doing these videos at this point in time when this case was happening. I think we started like around the time when Lil Daryl case was getting started. This is some craziness, right? She said the makeup. She was wearing makeup, which is why you all couldn't see the swelling of her nose. Swelling causes your nose to size up, to flare up. And if you're getting punched by a man with rings, based off what I heard, multiple times in your face and your nose, that's going to blow up. And she has a very thin nose, right? It's very slim. So if you're getting punched in some way, shape, or form, it's gonna move. Something's gonna happen. And don't get me wrong, there's some makeup artists out here that be killing it. They got skills. They can make anything look any way. I don't think they can. I don't know if she's a makeup artist, but I don't even think the best makeup artists can camouflage swelling to make it look like nothing happened. In that photo, when she took the little picture of her arm, and the little bruise on her arm, that didn't have no makeup on. She was makeupless. That second picture, she had makeup on, and then ice on top of that. Ice, it may prevent further swelling, or not as much, but ain't no ice about to prevent 9 shots with a man fist with rings on his hand from swelling up. That's some craziness right there. Nick says, if you get hit in the face, especially with rings, it's going to be extremely obvious with a lot of damage. Makeup isn't enough. Exactly. You need a mask. A mask could fix that up real quick. Hide the whole nose. Lady T says, this is the first time she made this obligation. This is the first, I said obligation. Allegation. This is the first time she made this allegation. What's weird is how much she tried to mimic his appearance at trial. Like, it was so clear that's what she was doing. It wasn't a coincidence. His appearance. She was trying to mimic his appearance. Huh. Like I said, I don't know that much about this case, so I'll have to look. I don't know. Maybe we should revisit the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp case, because I missed all of it. I don't know nothing about it. This is about as much as I know about it right here. I am, like, completely ignorant to the case. So, I have no... All I know is what Brandon was telling me about it when it was happening, and what I see right here.
I imagine, and for me, normally this
Ice will cover up swelling?
ice reduces swelling. Normally, the swelling after that kind of injury is not as bad as you might imagine, and for me, it wasn't that bad.
Boy, she don't even believe that. She don't even believe that.
I have a picture of it underneath the makeup. That's how I know how to reference it.
A picture you haven't produced or shown to this jury, right, Miss Heard?
I produced everything.
But you haven't shown it to this jury.
I would very much like to. It's not my job.
Wow. Yo, I kind of want to revisit this trial. What do y'all think? Not right now in this moment, but do y'all think we should revisit this trial? Outside of an entire team of costume, character, makeup, nope, ain't gonna work. Right. It was wild. She wear the film version of his outfit. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Interesting. I'm really intrigued by what I'm seeing from that specific just one little clip. I would be interested in checking out the rest of that trial. Side note, hit the like button for me, y'all. Tap that like button. It's free and it's painless. It don't hurt.
Then she questioned Heard about if she doctored and leaked a video of Johnny Depp drunk.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I don't restart the video and I need to change screens. There we go. Hold up. Hold on, what's going on? Okay, there we go.
I have a picture of it underneath the makeup. That's how I know how to reference it.
A picture you haven't produced or shown to this jury, right, Miss Heard?
I've produced everything.
But you haven't shown it to this jury.
I would very much like to. It's not my job.
Then she questioned Heard about if she doctored and leaked a video of Johnny Depp drunk.
I thought you testified earlier in this trial that you didn't know how to leak things.
I don't.
Right. You edited that video before you gave it to TMZ so that only Mr. Depp would look bad. Yes?
That's absurd.
Right in the middle of your divorce proceedings.
Again, you're very wrong.
There was also when she questioned if Amber Heard donated her settlement money to charity as she promised or kept it.
You said that you had, quote, donated, end quote, your entire divorce settlement to charity, right?
That's correct.
Then Vasquez questioned Heard if she cheated on Depp with actor James Franco.
That's you and Mr. Franco on May 22nd, 2016, right, Miss Heard?
That's correct.
And you're taking him up to the penthouses, aren't you?
That's where I live, yes.
And it's past 11 p.m. at night, isn't that right?
I'm not quite sure of the time. It looked like that.
You knew Mr. Depp was out of town the week of May 21, 2016, didn't you?
I don't know what I knew of his schedule at the time.
Nasty. It was nasty. And I'll tell you what, Camille Vasquez actually became a nationally recognized figure for this case, particularly the way she handled this cross-examination. She was promoted to a partner at her law firm. She became an NBC legal analyst. But for Amber Heard, the jury found her liable for defamation for each of the 3 statements in the op-ed piece, although they did find Depp liable to Heard with respect to one statement.
Interesting.
From his lawyer. But she really lost this case when you think about it. The jury awarded Depp $10 million in compensatory damages, $5 million in punitives, and awarded her $2 million. I have to wonder if that cross-examination played a factor. I gotta tell you, I may not have been looking forward to a cross-examination more in recent memory than in the Alec Murdaugh.
Alright, before we go there, let's go back. Why is this not popping up when I click on it? Hold on. I'll fix that later. Oh god, y'all are so... This is... Okay, there we go. Genuine question. Maybe a suggestion. Why don't you cut clips from the live and put them in the video section on your page like you did before with Chad Duerman? Great question. It's, I'll be honest, due to laziness, because I know I should do it and I have been trying to do it more. I'm actually working on the other one from the Friday night live. It's just, you know, with my fitness business, I do YouTube videos as well. So I'm usually recording videos all day and talking about, you know, fitness, fat loss, building muscle, supplements, all that type of stuff. So I'm always editing, always shooting. I actually just did a full video. I spent all day today creating content for that business. So, you know, by the time I'm done editing and shooting and cutting up, you know, footage and all that type of stuff, then I just like, I'm out of energy, you know, be honest, or whatever. So I will though. I will make that a priority. I need to. I know I should be. So I appreciate you bringing that up, because it's like a reminder that I need to be doing that. And the fact that you actually brought that to my attention shows me that you all want to see that, the most important pieces from the clips, from the lives. So I will do that for sure. I appreciate it. I was doing it, like I said, I did it at one. I was, you know, we were doing it with the Daryl. Was it Brooks? Was that his name? The Daryl. We were doing it with his trial and stuff like that. Because you know the lives are long. I get it. The lives are long, and people don't want to sit through the whole live all the time. They want to see like what's the most important pieces, and without having to like scroll through the whole live. So it's a lot easier to consume and such. So I get it completely. I you know, I watch YouTube all the time as well. So you know, every time I love watching people lives, but at the same time, you don't always have the amount of time to sit through them. So you want to see like what's the most important pieces or what's the different type of topics and stuff like that. So I will make sure that we do that, Meg. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Lego.
Trial. And when we talk about some of the most intense cross-examination moments in recent trials, this is one. Now, you might recall this incredibly high-profile case from 2023. Alec Murdaugh, the disgraced South Carolina attorney who went on trial for the murders of his wife Maggie and son Paul, who were executed in June of 2021. They were gunned down on their family property, specifically by the dog kennels. The motive laid out by prosecutors was that Murdaugh was a criminal. He was engaging in a number of financial crimes, including stealing.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Is this Marshmello? Is this I know you changed the name the last time that you popped on the live. The pedantic schlepper. We sticking with Marshmello. I think this is Marshmello. Just say if it is or isn't. What's happening, Marshmello? We ain't changing. We ain't switching it up. I think that was you. If it ain't, my bad. But I think that was your name before you changed it.
From his law firm clients, and as a way to distract from that, to buy himself time, to gain sympathy, they say he killed his family and made it look like he was the victim in all of this. Well, Alec Murdaugh gets on the stand and admits that he lied to police. He said he lied about being down at the kennels that night. First time he had ever said that. I mean, he really had no choice but to own up to it, because at trial, there was a cell phone video from Paul's phone that was presented to the jury showing he was at the kennels only minutes before investigators believed the shootings happened. But Murdaugh says, listen, I was there, but then I left before the shootings occurred.
Wow.
He originally lied because he was paranoid and a drug addict, but he swears he didn't kill his wife and son. He says after leaving the kennels, he went back up to his house, and then he left to see his sick mom that night. Well, prosecutor Creighton Waters really went in on Alec Murdaugh.
It is.
The reality is, Mr. Murdaugh, is the reason why no one's ever heard that before is because you had to sit in this courtroom and hear your family and your friends, one after the other, come in and testify that you were on that kennel video. So you, like you've done so many times over the course of your life, had to back up and make a new story that kind of fit with the facts that can't be denied. Isn't that true, sir?
No, sir, that's not true.
Before you said you'd been napping for an hour or so, or napping that entire time, and now you lay down on the couch.
That's correct.
All right. And maybe doze for a second,
Maybe.
according to your new story. How long did you doze?
If I dozed, extremely short time.
Extremely short time. Because you would agree with me that at 9 o'clock.
I don't know what actually happened, what went on to happen with this case. I don't know if they're gonna actually say it on this, because like I said, this is like a summary of like the 6 most heated cross-examination moments or whatever. But let me know in the comments what actually happened to him. I think he did go to I think he did get some years. I don't remember specifically, but if y'all familiar with this one, the one that we were doing a few months back, let me know.
2, you're up and moving.
I was preparing to leave.
So doing what?
I don't know if I got up, went to the bathroom. I don't know. I can't tell you exactly what I was doing.
That's far more steps in a short time period than any time prior, as you've seen from the testimony in this case. So what were you so busy doing?
That's,
Going to the bathroom?
no, I don't think that I
Get on the
went to
treadmill?
the bathroom. No, I didn't get on the treadmill.
Jogging place?
No, I didn't jog.
Get on the treadmill for real.
Jogging jacks?
No, sir, I did not do jumping jacks.
What were you doing, Mr. Murdaugh, for those 4 minutes?
Preparing to leave from my mom's house.
What? What does that mean? I mean, you're in the front room on that couch where you say you laid down. Suburban's just right outside. What all are you doing?
I don't know if I got up and went to my room, went to the gun room, went back in the.
Like, you've been so clear in your new story about everything. What were you doing during these 4 minutes?
I disagree with
The evidence showed that Alec Murdaugh's phone was off conveniently for about an hour and then suddenly turns back on. Very suspicious because this was right at the time his family was killed or right after.
Damn.
And the jury didn't believe Alec Murdaugh. He was convicted of the murders of Paul and Maggie and sentenced to life in prison. Alright, let's go over now to the Florida case of
He got life. Wow.
Anthony Todt, a 46-year-old physical prison. All right, let's go over now to the Florida case of Anthony Todt, a 46-year-old physical therapist who was on trial for the brutal murders of his wife, 42-year-old Megan, and 3 children, 4-year-old Zoe,
What?
13-year-old Alec, and 11-year-old Tyler.
Are y'all familiar with this? The fool offed his whole family.
A really
Golly.
disturbing case. He was even charged with killing the family dog. Now, here was the problem for Anthony Todt. Authorities found their decomposing bodies in the family home, and Todt was living there for weeks. Authorities were serving him with an arrest warrant for unrelated insurance fraud charges, and they found the bodies. Todt sits down for an interview with investigators, and he admits that he killed his family as part of some weird pact with his wife, that they would all die together and escape to the other side before the apocalypse. It was a combination of stabbing, suffocating, even drugging with Benadryl. But then
Boy.
before the trial, he speaks with his sister on the phone from jail and does a 180 and says, no, I didn't have anything to do with this. It was Megan who killed the kids and herself, and he just found them.
Are you serious? So you randomly, conveniently confessed to doing all that, and then you have a phone call with your sister who probably advised you to not be an idiot, say a bunch of bullshit, and cover your tracks, and then you switch. Like, who's really gonna believe that? You don't give a full confession about what you did, and I don't even believe that. I don't even believe that it was some pact or hack with his wife that y'all gonna do all that off your whole family, and then to escape whatever you're trying to escape. I think you just did it. I think you just off them because that's what you wanted to do.
I'm dead. He doesn't really know what he said to investigators because he was stoned and he was out of it.
Oh
And he
god.
doubles down.
Stoned is another word for being high. Marijuana. Marijuana don't make you do that. I'm sorry. Maybe he meant to use another word than stoned, but marijuana. I mean, I don't really participate in the marijuanas anymore. At this point in my life, I did in my early 20s, and mid 20s maybe a little bit, but never once have I been out of control of the verbiage that I use in any circumstance to say something that I didn't really mean, that I will severely regret, especially something as wild as this. He was better off saying that he was drunk.
On that defense at trial that Megan is the killer. But the prosecution wasn't having any of it and really held his feet to the fire.
You told law enforcement on multiple occasions that you went into Alec's room and you stabbed Alec and you suffocated Alec. Isn't that correct?
That's partially correct.
And isn't it true that you also told law enforcement that Megan took part in the killing?
That's what the video showed. That's correct.
And that in fact Megan held Alec's legs down while you suffocated Alec?
That's what the video showed. That's correct.
And your testimony today is that that is not true?
My testimony today is the fact that Megan killed her kids and killed herself.
Okay. You told law
Oh,
enforcement
God.
that you were afraid he was gonna get away, right?
That's what Meg told me, yes.
That's not my question. You told law enforcement multiple times that Tyler was fast and he was.
You saw the video, and you saw the video also of saying I said things that have been proven incorrect.
That's not responsive to my question.
Actually, it is. but-
Yes or no?
You didn't say yes or no, ma'am.
Yes or no?
Thank you.
Did you tell law enforcement that you had to kill
It's funny because he's technically correct as far as like what she said or didn't say with the you didn't say yes or no and all that stuff, but he's playing the semantics game, and he knows what she's trying to say, and the fact that he's trying to this is a horrible defense, first off, and I'm sure they hit him with the book for just the ignorance that he's displaying right here. Um, and you know, the facetiousness, if that's a word, if you could put the "ness" at the end of that. But like, he's being like a smart ass when he knows what they're trying to communicate.
Tyler quickly because he was the fastest.
Don't remember anything after I left the house until I got to jail. So I'm refuting, I'm going on your premise that that video is correct.
Okay. Well, that is you in the video, right?
It's a sickly version of me, yes. It's an emotionally disturbed video of me, yes.
And that's you talking, right?
That is me talking, that's correct.
Okay.
And God didn't tell you I assassinated
Here's the
Kennedy.
question.
Wow.
It's quite the back and forth. But unfortunately for Anthony Todt, the jury did not believe his story, and he was convicted for the murders of his family and for killing the family dog. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of...
It's like everybody. This video, everybody's getting life, except for like the Amber Heard and all this stuff with the suing, but the ones that were actually in a situation where they offed people, all of them got life so far.
parole. All right, let's close out this discussion on cross-examinations with Gwyneth Paltrow. So the
Last one, Gwyneth Paltrow. I have no idea who this is. I haven't seen her before or know anything about it, but I'm glad. I like the top, the top 5, top 6 type things, because it gives you a little bit insight of these court cases, especially these ones that I don't know about. Like the only one that I know about with this specific one was I don't even remember his name, but the guy that was rich, that was involved with the mafia, they gave him life to. I can't remember his name though.
The actress and entrepreneur was sued by a retired eye doctor named Terry Sanderson. Sanderson argued that back in 2016, while the two were both skiing at Deer Valley Resort in Utah, Paltrow negligently slammed into him from behind, severely injuring him. He claimed he suffered broken ribs, brain injuries, and his life has never been the same, and he sued for over $300,000. Paltrow not only defended herself from this, but actually filed a countersuit, a counterclaim for $1 and her attorney's fees. Her argument was that Sanderson hit into her from behind, that she was the victim. This was literally the complete opposite story of what Sanderson...
That don't even sound. If that was the case, if he hit you, you gonna sue for $1? That's the most pettiest. Let's listen. Let me go back.
Paltrow not only defended herself from this, but actually filed a countersuit, a counterclaim for $1 and her attorney's fees. Her argument was that Sanderson hit into her from behind, that she was the victim. This was literally the complete opposite story of what Sanderson said, and it really became a case of negligence. Someone failed to act as a reasonable skier would under the circumstances. Who was at fault? Now, Terry Sanderson took the stand, and he went through how he was hit, how his life fell apart because of all these injuries, and he has really said he's a shell of a man since the crash. Okay. Well, then he faced some really tough questioning by Paltrow's attorney, Stephen Owens. First, by saying how he made inappropriate and outlandish claims about his client and the incident.
Upon filing your lawsuit, in a press conference, compared my client to King Kong coming out of the jungle. Yes or no?
That was not my intention.
Did you do that? Did I make up those words, or are those your words to the press?
I'm not sure, but probably sounds familiar.
Do you dispute it?
I dispute my intentions, that's all I do.
Did you say those words about my client?
I meant to say King Kong just chased someone out of the...
Hold up now. I guess we did take a 180. My only question was, why did you choose to sue for $1? Which was interesting. But it sounds like this young sir got a little situation on his hands. Out here calling people King Kong.
That's what I meant.
Did you refer to her as Godzilla to your daughter?
Wow.
I don't remember that.
She testified to that.
Wow.
It's gone. Sorry.
Also, Owens questioned Sanderson's credibility, namely what he remembered of the crash and about his prior statements.
We talked about you being unconscious, and do you agree that someone who's unconscious doesn't have a stopwatch to figure out how long they were actually unconscious?
I agree, that's true.
And yet, You did tell people it varied over time. First a few seconds, then 5 minutes, then 10 minutes. You did that, right? Do you disagree?
Yes, it did vary.
And why did you do that? Why would you say, I don't know, then it's a few seconds, then it's 5 minutes, and then you told your psychiatrist at the VA it was up to 10 minutes long? Why did you change?
I had no idea, and I was searching. I really had no idea, and I was trying to answer. I sometimes make that mistake, guessing, but I really didn't know.
Then Owens questioned whether Sanderson over-exaggerated his injuries from the ski collision, and he did that by showing that Sanderson was living quite an adventurous life, as evidenced by photos of him traveling around.
Now here's what's interesting. Before we even get a little bit into this piece, like it's not that far-fetched or crazy to me for an individual to, let's just say you did get into an accident and you don't know the time lapse between the situation or whatever it may be, so it may feel like it's a few seconds, then a little bit you replay it in your mind. It may feel like 5 minutes. Replay it in your mind again, and you think about all the details in between. It's like, no, maybe it was more like 10 minutes because of all the whatever it may be, right? But the way that he's behaving on the stand, that puts a little bit more questions into the equation as far as like whether he was right or whether he was wrong or whatever the situation may be. He's making it a little bit worse than it had to be in that moment. Like, he could have just explained the fact that, if he, now I don't know about the stopwatch and all that type of stuff, whatever, and all that name calling and all that stuff, that's completely different. I ain't, that's wild. But situations, with certain things happen, you may not really completely understand the full time frame within certain situations because you're not expecting to have to remember stuff like that, right? But he's shooting himself in the foot.
Sanderson was living quite an adventurous life, as evidenced by photos of him traveling around the world.
Post-incident travel by Dr. Sanderson, Mr. Sanderson. Did you go to Peru?
Yes.
After the collision?
Boy.
Always after the collision, okay?
Yes.
Visit Machu Picchu?
Costa Rica, yes.
Walk the Golden Trail?
Yes.
Machu Picchu is in Peru.
Yes.
Floated
boy
down the
full.
Amazon?
Oh God.
Yes, I guess so.
Costa Rica? Did you do a zip line?
Ha!
Same trip, yes.
Did you go to Europe? Visit Netherlands, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, France, Belgium?
No way.
With my daughter Jenny, yes.
Bottom half, James, please. Did you go to the Netherlands 3 times?
I don't remember.
Well, if you're disputing it, then we pull it out of your deposition.
I don't remember. I had no reason to speak.
How you don't remember going to another country? That's the question. You went to a whole nother country 3 times and you say you don't remember? Sounds a little fishy, if you ask me. Sounds a little bit fishy. He don't got into a serious accident. He's suing for $300,000. After this accident, he done went to at least, sounds like, 5 more countries, traveling, living good. Not just going to these countries and sitting on the beach. He out here ziplining. He doing activities, seeking the thrill. He out here living. He living a good life. And talking about how devastating these injuries were. Nah, you playing.
You never agree.
Okay, Morocco twice.
Wow.
Likely, very likely.
Canary Islands. I need to know if you're disputing these things.
I can't dispute it, no.
I personally think that was some of the worst evidence against Mr. Sanderson. And then Owens seemed to try to play up the fact that Sanderson was only suing Paltrow, only doing this to go after her because she's a famous, wealthy celebrity.
I wrote I'm famous because it's cool that I had a collision with a celebrity. Was that your thinking That's not a true statement, is it?
Golly.
You have said this in your deposition, true?
Honestly, I don't ever remember saying it.
Bring it up.
But
Again.
I don't doubt you. I misspeak.
Boy.
Okay, this is page 15, line 5 through 8. So the words "I'm famous," this is my question, seem to say, "I think it's cool that I had a collision with a celebrity." Was that your thinking at the time? And your answer was yes. I guess, yes.
Wow.
Yes, so he made it look like Sanderson wasn't being truthful, that he wasn't reliable, that he was only out to get Paltrow because she was Gwyneth Paltrow, that he overstated the degree of his injuries, because he was active and traveling all over the place. And it seemed to work, because the jury came back and said that Terry Sanderson was 100% at fault for what happened on that ski slope, not Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, good.
Well, cross-examinations, as you can see, they can be quite intense, they can be heated,
Wow.
and revealing, and they can change the course of a whole case. All right, everybody.
Now that's wild. This fool out here scamming. He out here scamming the world. You know, ran into a famous, I don't know what she's famous for. I've never seen her before. But he tried to get over on her. And he tried to basically overstate his injuries, knowing that he about to be traveling for the next 2 years out here doing zip lining. And I'm glad that he's still active like that, you know, whatever his age is, doing all those things. But you don't sue nobody for $300,000 and think that you about to get away with that and think that you about to come up 300K. The only thing that I didn't like about this specific case is the fact that she didn't sue him for more than $1. Because when they said that she sued him for $1 plus like the lawyer fees and all that type of stuff, whatever. Like, that's what made me think, like, okay, wait, you're suing him for $1, so maybe you're the one that did something wrong, but maybe this is my fault in thinking. So that was interesting. That was the top 6 most heated cross-examination moments in high-profile trials. So I found that to be pretty interesting. So let me know, do y'all want to keep going? Do y'all want to take a look at another video before we close out? If y'all want to look at another video, drop a 1 in the chat. So all you gotta do is drop a 1 in the chat, and we will take a look at one more video before the night is over. If not, we can end right here. And tap that like button. We got a couple people in the chat. Tap the like button for me if you want to look at one more video. Drop a 1 in the chat. Let me give it a few seconds while we wait. Because I think I'm delayed by a few minutes or so. So if y'all want to keep it going, drop a 1 in the chat. Let's see here. What is this? Alright, Marshmallow. Drop the 1. Okay, cool. We'll take a look at one more. We'll take a look at one more before the night is over. I don't know how to say this new name. I know it's the pedantic. Is that Schleppler? Am I saying that right? Schleppler or Schleppler? Maybe I should look it up. I don't know what that word means. I'm not that fancy. Alright. We got one more. So this one is pretty crazy as well. This is, let me share my screen. The YouTube mom allegedly duct taped starved kids until one escaped. Okay. So I'm not familiar with this specific case. I just watched like the first 15 seconds. So this just came out. We're gonna take a look at what's going on with this YouTube mom. And see why she out here starving her kids. I don't know what's going on with her. She needs some help. Let's take it out.
I won't trust myself, and you should not trust me either, because I don't have any problem lying to you. I don't have any problem dropping responsibility, which which is also deception.
A popular parenting YouTuber
What?
and mom of 6 is arrested for child abuse alongside her business partner. Renowned former homicide detective Phil Waters comes on to analyze this disturbing case. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. I gotta talk to you right now about this story that is just absolutely shocking to hear. Have you ever heard of Ruby Frank?
No.
You might have, because she and her husband launched this YouTube channel called 8 Passengers back in 2015.
Oh, I've heard of that channel. I actually heard of that channel. Crazy. It was very random how I heard of it. I think it was like on Instagram or something like that. Let me see. 8 Passengers. Yes. Wow. I said that I knew nothing about this, but I've actually heard of this before. That name made me, yeah, okay, let's take a look at this.
And it was all about the couple and their 8 passengers back in 2015. And it was all about the couple and their 6 children, very popular. I think it had over 2 million subscribers. It focused on parenting and homeschooling. It was interesting because Frank and her husband are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Seems all well and good, right? Like wholesome values. Well, it turns out that Frank and her business partner, Jody Hildebrand, who founded a life counseling organization known as Connexions, previously known as Moms of Truth, the two of them have been arrested out in Utah. And
Oh,
for
wow.
one of all things, child abuse. That's right. Police received a call at almost 11 o'clock at night on August 30th. Someone asking for help. And when police arrived on the location, they found a 12-year-old girl, malnourished, emaciated, with open wounds and duct tape
Man.
around the extremities.
Oh, God. What can cause you to treat not just a child, your child? Right? It's wrong for just any child, but your child this way. It's not out of desperation where like you can't feed your child. Like I think they said they got a YouTube channel like 1 million views or 1 million subscribers, should I say? Right? You making money if you got 1 million subscribers on YouTube. You make, and if you're doing something in a space where it's like you're not going against any of the YouTube guidelines, right? Like, if anything, like our channel, the Naj and Raina channel, like we're reviewing true crime cases, right? So we can't always, like, we're not necessarily able to monetize every video because a lot of videos we're reviewing is like doing to it has a lot, our videos that we watch, these cases and stuff, a lot of them have a lot to do with like unaliving people and all that type of stuff, right? So we're not able to monetize all of our videos. We just do this because we actually have an interest in learning about, you know, true crime and cases and things, what's going on in the world and things like that. So we can't necessarily, although this channel is monetized, we're still not able to monetize a lot of our videos. So, you know, when you all send in like super chats and things like that, that help support the video because a lot of them can't necessarily be monetized. It may be monetized in the moment, but they, after the videos and the lives are over, YouTube be like, hey, we can't monetize this because the advertisers don't want to, you know, place their ads on videos that's talking about the type of stuff that we're looking at, right? They have a family channel. Your family channel, nothing's against YouTube guidelines for the most part. Obviously this is, right? But what she's posting on that YouTube channel, like nothing's against the guidelines. You're monetizing. It's family oriented. You're making a lot of money if you have a family YouTube channel, especially if you have 100,000 followers. The fact that you got 1 million followers, you making a lot of money, and you're making the choice to treat your children like this. Like, golly. What is going on here? Patrice, the real Patrice, what's happening? What's going on? She says, hi everyone, I'm so late. How did I miss this? You missed this because this was very impromptu. This was completely random. This was not planned. I seen a video on YouTube on the Law and True Crime page. Was it Law and Crime Network, whatever? And it was about like the top 6, you know, what was it, top 6, some stuff like that, whatever. So I was just like, let me go ahead and just check it out. And I hopped on YouTube or whatever, did the live. I was like, if y'all hop on, y'all hop on. If not, I'm just check it out and y'all catch the replay, right? But you all good. You coming in just in time for this specific video, so no worries. Appreciate you coming through anyways. Mikey, what's happening? What's going on, Mikey? Let me see before I continue. Marshmallow says trash for sure. I hope you don't mind us still calling you Marshmallow, because I'm struggling with learning how to. I'm gonna look it up. I'm looking up, see what was it, Shepler? I'm not sure exactly what that. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but you know, we met you as being Marshmallow, so you know, we will roll with that unless you say you don't like it. So South Park did an episode. Let me go to the main thing right before we continue. Pull it up here. South Park did an episode where they chained kids to walls and sprayed them with Dr. Pepper because they wanted them to be agnostic. Oh wow, interesting. Said attention. They did this for attention. This ain't the attention that they want, boy. They probably not towards you, but I'm saying like they probably don't. Not probably. They definitely don't ruined their lives for sure. For sure. Vanity is one hell of a drug. Fame, attention, power, all bad things. We can't, as humans, handle power. I agree to some extent. I think that attention is not necessarily good or bad. It's what you do for the attention and what you do with the attention, right? Because you know we can have very great intentions for whatever we're trying to do in life, but if we don't have the attention of people, then you know we can't necessarily do a lot of good as we could with the attention, right? Let's just say, for example, like I started charity. Actually, no, prime example with this channel, right? We have this YouTube channel. We review court cases. We review, situations where people are. There actually like Friday. Was it Friday that we did the video? Maybe it was Thursday or Friday. We took a look at this case where, this guy, these people tried to kick down his door. It was actually in the DFW, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and they kicked down his door, acting like they was maintenance man, right? And then he let off a whole bunch of shots through his door to protect his home. And obviously they had to move, and it's not like he's some famous person, he's just an average, everyday person, right? He had to move out of his house, his apartment, and he started a GoFundMe. I posted his link to his GoFundMe after reviewing his page, after reviewing the video, right? Now imagine if we had more attention to this Najee Rayner page, what that would have done for his GoFundMe. Now I'm not sure how many people that watched the video that I did, the live video that I did, and they, donated, but imagine if we had more attention to our page and the amount of donations we could have gave him, because I donated, but the amount of donations that we could have gave him by more attention, right? So I won't necessarily say fame, attention, and power are bad things. What I will say is, and your point, fame, attention, and power just it puts a spotlight, right? It kind of like just, what's the word I'm looking for? It makes us more of who we already are. So if I have good intentions already, me getting fame, attention, and power on top of my good intentions is just gonna make me handle that more and do that more for more people. Now, if I have bad intentions on a day-to-day basis, right? Let's just say I'm a scammer or a robber or something like that, or somebody that want to do people wrong. If I have bad negative intentions, me getting fame, attention, and power, that's gonna make me highlight that and like do more of what I'm already doing, right? So I think it just puts like a spotlight on the person, right? It's the person's intentions and what they already want to do. It's kind of like just getting more money. Like if you have poor spending habits right now as a person that don't have money, more money is just gonna highlight the specific your poor spending habits. It's not going to make you change and do more. It's like why they say about the lottery and stuff like that, right? Most people that earn money or win, the lottery, they end up back at where they started at because they had bad habits to begin with. It's more so about that type of thing. But I get your point. I just didn't want to necessarily I wanted to specify what I think with that specific comment, because I think this is important. I don't think that fame, attention, and power are necessarily bad in and of itself. I think it's the person and the person's intentions before they get those things, because I think it's just going to highlight what they already are doing, so to speak. So that's just my thoughts with that. Last vid, but he's doing great. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Oh, I miss y'all doing that one. I'll make sure. Yeah, so if y'all don't have the notifications turned on, definitely turn on your notifications. You feel me? So there's the bell. There's like the YouTube bell. Y'all probably see it like next to like the subscribe button or whatever. If you tap on the bell, they have an option for you all to get all of the notifications. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, let me pull it up so y'all can check it out. Let me see. Damn, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Hold on. Wait a minute. I thought that's how it worked. Oh wait, that's my channel. That's why. Let's see. Non-jump right now. All right, so y'all can see that. Let me see. Okay, there we go. So y'all see that? So it says subscribe. Like if I tap on subscribe down there, notifications, you want to turn it on all. Okay, turn notifications on all, and you'll be able to get all of them. This sounds like a deep episode of Najin right now. I don't want to say deep. I just figured like, because I agree with Marshmallow, I just want to specify the specifics, because I don't necessarily believe that attention, power, or fame are necessarily bad in and of itself. I believe us as people can be good or bad, or have good or bad intentions. I just think that a lot of the times it's who we are as people that determine what we do when we get power or attention, right, or fame and that type of stuff. Like your actions define who you are. Yeah, exactly, right? Like if I'm a person that don't necessarily have good intentions, if I don't have good habits, if I don't have a mindset of wanting to do good for people in general, then I'm probably going to be a person, when I do get fame or attention or power and something like that, I'm probably going to be a person that do bad still continuously. It's like, okay, well, me doing bad got me more power, more attention, more, fame, so why would I change? Same thing as a person that's doing good, that has good intentions. Okay, me having good intentions and doing good in the world has got me more power, attention, and fame. Why would I change that? Right? And then it's usually when we do change that when things go left, so to speak. But I'm not necessarily right or wrong. I don't know. It just, we all got our different perspectives and stuff like that. So let's get back to the video. I didn't want to focus on that. Let's lock back in. All right.
Frank and Hildebrand, they were arrested on 2-count at August 30th. Someone asking for help. When police arrived on the location, they found a 12-year-old girl, malnourished, emaciated, with open wounds and duct tape around the extremities. Frank and Hildebrandt, they were arrested on 2 counts of aggravated child abuse because it seems that police were led to another location where they found a second child, a 10-year-old girl believed to be the sister of the 12-year-old. She also was in similar conditions. The children were taken to a hospital. NBC News reporting that 4 minors were then taken in by the Division of Child and Family Services. And for anyone that has been following the work of Frank and her husband, they have received criticism for their style of parenting.
Wait, her name is Frank?
NBC News reporting that 4 minors were then taken in by the Division of Child and Family Services. And for anyone that has been following the work of Frank and her husband, they have received criticism for their style of parenting. People had accused them and suspected them of abuse and exploitation in the past based on what they saw in their content.
Wow.
In fact, it's been reported that some of those videos have now been deleted. And to give you an example, Child Protective Services was called back in June of 2020 to check in on the family. This was prompted by a Change.org petition. That's what the reporting indicates. And it came about after there was a video of one of the couple's children recounting how he was forced to sleep on a beanbag for months as a form of punishment by his parents.
Wow.
The reporting indicates that nothing came from this visit by Child Protective Services. There may not have been enough evidence to go forward. But going back to Hildebrandt for a moment, so she's accused of promoting very harsh forms of punishment through Connexions, this counseling services, such as her and Frank discussing how if a child refuses to follow, quote, principles of truth, they can be cut out of a family. And here's another aspect of the story. So Shari Frank, the oldest of the Frank children, seems to have posted on Instagram, quote, "Me and my family are so glad justice is being served. We've been trying to tell the police and CPS for years about this and so glad they finally decided to step up." She further wrote, "The kids are safe, but there's a long road ahead. Please keep them in your prayers and also respect their privacy."
Golly.
In fact, Ruby Frank's sister also had something to say, posted a video as well.
The only thing that we ultimately care about is that our nieces and nephews are safe, and they are. And that is the only thing that matters to any of us. It is going to feel weird for me to move forward. And I think, do I just move forward?
Man, yo, before we continue, can you imagine watching this specific YouTube channel? I'm not sure what the YouTube channel was called. I forgot. But imagine, A Passenger. Imagine watching A Passenger's YouTube channel with millions of followers, subscribers, and the whole time, what they say, they started in 2015, 16 or something like that, 17. The whole entire time, they're just abusing their children, like making them malnourished purposely, right? Like specifically with negative intent to harm their children. First off, I don't understand that concept, right? I don't know where that's coming from. I don't get the any of that. These are like little clones of you as a person. Little people of you made from you and your DNA and your genetics, and you're causing them harm, right? And you're okay with that. Not okay with that, but you're promoting that to some extent. But could you imagine being a subscriber of this YouTube channel and then coming out and watching this, seeing this video that these fools are out here like abusing these children? This is wild.
Incredible right there. And Frank and Hildebrandt, they were transported to and booked into the Washington County Jail. They're both currently being held without bond. To talk a little bit more about this, let me bring in a fan favorite here on Sidebar. We haven't seen him in a while, Phil Waters. Waters is a former legendary homicide detective who's worked over 400 cases. He is an expert interrogator and just an overall great guy to talk to. Phil, good to see you. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Oh, thank you, Jesse. It's good to be back with you. It's been a while.
It has. This is a horrifying story. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Oh, yeah, this is not, there's nothing new and different about this. It's just it's kind of a new wave on an old beach, right? And big city, and here's just another one about some atrocious child abuse.
But I guess there was breadcrumbs if people were looking at the videos and seeing that the parents were punishing the children too harshly or engaging in these kind of wild teaching and parenting methods. Something didn't smell right. Are you surprised that, you heard the daughter say this, that it almost seemed like it took too long?
Well, these things don't happen in a vacuum, and they appear over time. And I'm sure when this particular incident started, it didn't start out this way. There was not. This is one of these things that proliferates over time as the abuse starts to accelerate. So it's it starts out with the little things, and then eventually it starts growing into these weird manifestations of chaining them to a bed or something like that. So not terribly unusual under the circumstances of a kind of a classic child abuse situation within a family. That look, this ostracization of the family members. We hear a lot of these stories regarding people that are Mormons, where there's a break with children in the philosophy of that particular church, and they are ostracized. I mean, I think we've heard stories like from the Osmonds, that kind of a situation. So, it's just it's a cultural thing, but in terms of.
Well, I do want to be careful because I'm not going to group all people that believe in a
No.
I just.
Right, that was a little. That was definitely a little. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word I'm looking for actually. They were definitely. I don't know. I won't say stereotyping, but they were definitely grouping the whole entire, like he said, Mormons, right? He didn't necessarily say, he didn't get a little bit more defined. He said Mormons and start talking about their specifics. So I agree. You don't want to play those games because personal experience from me, every group of people, every ethnicity, race, and everything, we all, whether we want to admit it or not, we all have the same people in all of our ethnicities, right? We all have people that act the same exact way, from the lower tier to the crazies to the normals to the higher ups to, like, all of us have these areas within all ethnicities, and we call them different names, different groups, different titles, but we all have people that act the same exact way. It's just these stereotypes that tend to cause us to believe certain people are, different, right? Or certain people are categorized and put to the forefront when certain people are in the news and certain things like that. But there isn't a ethnicity that you can name that don't have the same quality of people in every, area. We just, we call them different names and things. If you all are catching the drift. Right.
It seems to me, if you hear about what the children, how they were found, this condition of being essentially starved and taped up and tied up, it seems consistent with the narrative that's been online about these people.
Well, yeah. So again, I mean, you've got to start at the beginning, right? And so this doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
This is something that happens over time, and there are signs that people will see that it's almost like the people that are close to them that see these things, they're not believing what they're seeing.
Right.
It's kind of, am I really seeing something here that indicates there's a bigger picture here?
I want to ask you about this. So investigators, they obtained a search warrant for the home. And during that search, the police said that they recovered evidence, quote, consistent with the markings found on the juvenile. What does that mean?
Well, depending on the type of markings, I would say that they found the instrument with which those markings were applied. Whatever it was that they were disciplining them with, striking them with, they were consistent with the instrument that they found in the house.
And I want to ask you about this. So Law and Crime is reporting that police said that 2 days prior to her arrest, Frank had posted a video to YouTube that was filmed in Hildebrandt's basement while Hildebrandt was home. So it means, essentially, right, that Hildebrandt, maybe Frank, they were aware of the conditions under which these children were living. They can't, it's going to be hard for them to say, we didn't know what was going on.
Oh no, I mean there's no way to deny. I think what I am in the article that I read, I didn't see where the husband or the father was charged.
I didn't see that either, right?
Yeah, these cases, I find it a little odd, and maybe they're coming later, but in cases like this, in fact, I'm working a case right now for a client, for a defense attorney, and it involves the death of a child, and there's some indication of abuse there, but this may have been an accident, and the mother involved in it has not yet been charged, but they've been considering charges of child abuse by omission. So I'm a little curious in this case that we have the same set of circumstances where he had to be aware of what was going on, and why did he not stop what was happening, and therefore there may be some charges coming later that charging him with.
Now that's interesting. What do you all think about that? Because it has been solely focused on her and her doing, her being the cause of the malnourished and not feeding them and the torture basically of the children. But where has he been this entire time? Like, if he's the man of the house, if he's the leader and all these things, like, where, like, is he just like not there? I don't know nothing about the 8 Passengers YouTube channel. I just heard of it a while back. So I don't know if he's active there or if he's like traveling for work or like not as involved or whatever it may be. But like, where is he while all this is happening? Because if he's there, he knows about it for sure. I'm interested in it. I'm interested in what's going on. I don't know if he's actively a part of the show, the YouTube channel, things like that, or if he's just like, there maybe a couple of days out the week and then traveling for work. I don't know what's going on with it, but I'm interested. Right, yeah, that's what I was thinking too as well, Marshmallow. Like, was he even on the show? Like, what's the 411 with that? What is the 411? Because they ain't saying nothing about him. It's all about her. So I'm sure he probably had to play some type of role. He had some type of influence in this.
Child abuse by omission.
Do you think investigators are trying to interview these 2 suspects right now? These 2 women?
Oh, I would think they have, or at least offered them the opportunity to interview. You always want to interview someone, always. And I would imagine that's happened, and it'd be interesting to see the interviews and see what comes out of those interviews.
Do you think they're also combing through all of the old videos that they posted on these 2 different channels? Would that be helpful evidence in trying to determine what happened here?
Well, I think so. I mean, you want to look at any kind of evidence, potential evidence, something that may be probative. So I would think you never know what's on these videos. You never know what's in the background. I mean, the whatever was used to create these marks to punish these kids, you may find it hanging behind them on a wall somewhere. So, it's those are always interesting. If a picture's worth 1,000 words, a video's worth 1,000,000. So, yeah, you're going to be looking at anything that may be probative in terms of evidence.
I know this is sensitive, but what do you think is happening in terms of interviewing the children? Do you think investigators are trying to speak to the children, and is now the time to do it after all of this has happened, after they just went to the hospital? What do you think is going on behind the scenes in terms of getting information from these young children and these alleged victims?
Well, they're going to be interviewed, and in Houston we have a child assessment center that's where they would go, and there's going to be trained personnel.
So they're in Texas. This is 3.5, 4 hours away from me.
that will interview those children. So that's going to happen. I would imagine that the circumstances would be the same in Utah. So those children will be interviewed. I mean, they are the complainants. They're the victims. They're the ones that their voices are going to be heard now. And they will interview those kids and evaluate what they're being told by the children and see if they're consistent with what they're finding in the physical and forensic evidence. So sure, yeah, absolutely.
And it's always unique when these kinds of cases when you have children who are the victims, because it's a situation where you are in the care and the custody of the parent, and it becomes very hard for the parents who are accused or the guardians who are accused of abusing the children to defend yourself, because anything that happens to these kids is essentially your responsibility. And so if they're not being fed, that's your responsibility. If they have these markings on them, it's very hard to say that you didn't do it or you weren't a part of it. Now, again, this is our criminal justice system. There is a case that's going to be going forward.
Right, but here's the thing. You're not struggling. And this is me speaking from the outside, not in, because I don't know their specific situations or finances or anything like that. But I can only imagine, you have a YouTube channel with one, like I said, even if it was just 100,000 subscribers, but 1+ million subscribers, and a family-oriented channel, which is the most YouTube-friendly channel to have when it comes to advertisements, when it comes to sponsorship deals, when it comes to all those different type of things. Like, everyone wants to advertise to families. That YouTube channel, if I was to pull up the Social Blade, let's do that. Let's do that right fast. Y'all down for that? Let's see how much they was making potentially. All right, y'all want to be a little bit nosy with me? Let's type in Social Blade YouTube. Let's see how much they were potentially making. 8 passengers. They have 2 points. Golly. All right. They have 2,280,000 YouTube subscribers. I said 1 million. They have double that. Let me close this out. Let's say, okay. Social Blade. Okay, let's see. Let's see. I don't think this is right. This says $126 to $2K, $2,000. No, that's definitely not right. That's all the way off. Yeah, that gotta be all the way off. Let me just type in hours to see, because they tripping. Where's ours? Yeah, they all the way off. And they're saying our monthly earnings is $3. Yeah, so they're all the way off. Okay, so we can't trust Social Blade. We'll have to try another route. Anyways, point being, they're making a lot of money through YouTube. If you got 2 million viewers, you got 2 million subscribers on average, you're making hold on, let me go back to the video. Where did the video go? Let me roll this. Back to the video. 2 million subscribers. The majority of people that's got like 2 million subscribers, they're making like 100K on YouTube. 100K on YouTube per month, let me be more specific. That's not including like brand deals. That's not including, sponsorships. That's not including like one-time promotions. That's not including like a whole bunch of stuff. That's just specifically YouTube ad revenue. usually making like anywhere between like 50K to 100K per month. 2 million subscribers, 2+ million subscribers, easily. So talking about the kids are not being fed, the kids are not having what they need for day-to-day survival. Miss me, please miss me. There's no way, absolutely no way that they're not getting what they need. This was a specific choice by her plus him if he's involved, the dad. This is what they're choosing to do specifically. Let's see what else they got to say. And wrapping up the last 2 minutes and 40-some
We'll
seconds.
see how it ultimately progresses, but these markings on them, it's very hard to say that you didn't do it or you weren't a part of it. Now, again, this is our criminal justice system. There is a case that's going to be going forward. We'll see how it ultimately progresses, but just from an optics point of view, it doesn't look great. And you know, I'm looking at this and trying to understand how it happened. Do you believe that potentially, if they get more information from the children themselves, even the ones who were recovered and taken to the Department of Children's Services, that maybe more charges could come forward against these 2 women about prior instances of abuse?
Oh, certainly. This could open that the potential here isn't just a whole can of worms gets opened up here. We find out there are more instances of abuse with other children. I don't know what the scope of if she was just an advisor, a counselor, or she's got this website about how to parent children. So I don't know what the scope of that is. If there were parents that let her take control of their kids in some sort of counseling sessions and something of that nature. And we know how these things go. If you get somebody that is charismatic and can express themselves well and what their intentions are, and convince other parents. I'm not saying that it happened here, but I've seen it where other parents are convinced that what this advisor is telling them is what needs to happen. So they're not necessarily complicit in what's happening in an intentional way, but they are allowing it to happen by omission because they're convinced that this person is giving them correct counsel. So that'll be interesting to see if we have other children that are not her family, that the same types of things have been happening with.
Well, let's see where it goes. We're going to continue to follow this case. It is a disturbing one. Phil Waters, thanks so much for coming on and breaking down a little bit about what we know so far. Appreciate it, sir, and great seeing you.
Wow.
Thank you, Jesse. Aloha.
And that's all we have for you here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
All right. Interesting. Well, that's that case. I will be interested to see like what's going on with that, what's the details and the findings of it. But my thoughts, my insights, as far as what I know, as far as like YouTubers and what they make, my main YouTube channel, Mogul Naj, or just type in Built by Plants and you'll find it, i.e. all the supplements and everything in the background. I have like 2,000 subscribers. I'm making more than what they said that YouTube channel that they have on Social Blade, what it showed popped up on, right? So you can't go by certain like Social Blade and all that type of stuff, but they're making a lot of money. I don't know how actively they're posting on that channel, but just looking at the statistics and looking at they probably haven't posted like within the last year maybe. Let me see if I can even find the channel. I don't even see the channel no more. There we go. Wait. Okay. I don't know. Maybe they took the channel down and maybe that's why it showed that amount. But they were bringing in some revenue. Trust me. They were generating some income from that channel. They probably deleted the channel or like what do you call it, deactivated it because of all of this stuff that's happening right now. But they were making some money from that channel for sure, easily. My channel wasn't even monetized, but just because of the supplements and all my products and everything that I sell, and you know, me helping people with fat loss and building muscle and all that type of stuff, like, you know, I'm making money from that, right? Obviously, because I'm helping people. So they were probably, maybe they were doing something. They had to be doing something right. You got 2 million subscribers on YouTube. It's pretty hard to grow on YouTube. You're doing something right, right? Or at least you're showing something right. So there's no reason for them to be having their children malnourished, like skinny to the point where other people are noticing. That's intentional, especially if you're a parent. And again, I'm not a parent, so I can't speak from that perspective, but me as a human being, just knowing that if you're bringing in the revenue, you're bringing in the money, you're bringing in the income to be able to support and feed your children, and you choose not to the point where they look like they're malnourished, I don't know. That's all I'm saying. That's a little suspect to me. So I'm gonna wrap up. I'm gonna call it one. It is 11:58 CST. I gotta get up in the morning. Got a lot of work to do. So I appreciate y'all coming through tonight on this impromptu live. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate all y'all saying what's up, showing some love to me. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow night. We'll see. Maybe we'll be back tomorrow. We'll see. Y'all have a great night. Enjoy. Drop some videos after this live is over in the comments. After, not right now, but once I end this live, in the comments of the video, drop some YouTube videos that y'all want us to react to, some cases, whatever may be going on that y'all find interesting, and we will definitely do some videos on those. All right. Appreciate y'all for coming through, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.